Hi, so it's Elton from Thinkivity, and today I'm going to be talking with Val, Glazing AI. And when I first started looking into the whole sort of AI, and especially within the glazing sector, the first name I came across was Val. So I'm really happy to be able to have these chats. And of course, when we talk about AI and glazing, a lot of this stuff is across various sectors, but I want to focus on especially how we can help people in the glazing sector, but I'm sure there'll be a lot in this for anybody right now looking at how to incorporate AI into their business. On this first video, I really wanted to look at taking a sort of fresh look, assuming no prior knowledge of AI and just getting right down to the basics of what is AI. So, Val, how would you describe it? Obviously, people are going to be finding out that you're into this AI thing, you're interested in AI. So if you're
Mhm.
talking to somebody now who's got no previous experience and they're just like, "What is all this AI stuff?" How do you describe it to them?
I would describe this as a new tool, completely new tool,
Mm,
which understands natural language, which is very crucial, very important compared to other solutions that we had before.
hmm
Because basically, if we take in general our interaction with computers, you can interact in four different ways: by binary code, like
hmm
0110, which is very difficult. Second, by coding languages. So, for example, there are Ruby, there are Python, C++. You can interact with software. So coding languages are also quite difficult to know them.
mm,
Software is the third way, which is much easier. We use
hmm
Excel, we use Outlook, different kinds of Photoshop. And then there is the fourth, which is enabled by AI, which is just natural speaking, natural language. You just can ask. You don't need to go into Excel, see different tabs, different options. You just speak.
Yeah,
You just write. You don't need to know. So this changes a lot in many industries.
yeah.
It's just for
So,
sure.
but how is it doing it? I mean, how can you? Like, I get it, you just talk naturally to these tools, but how does it work? Because it just seems like definitely if you're not used to AI, it just seems like it's a black box, it's mystery, it's magic, so what's actually going on under the hood?
It's maybe not easy to explain it from technical side, but in general, data scientists, AI scientists, they try to recreate people's human brain. So
Mm,
basically, our human brain is built on neural links, on connections between different neurons. So when you do something, you dance, or you maybe write, you sing, you do different kinds of activities. You build your neural links.
yeah,
This is why children, for example, they have a lot of them. They create a lot of them. This is why children need to sleep a lot, because they build a lot of neural links, which then are lost. A lot of them are lost and are ruined because humans just don't need it. So data scientists, they do the same. They just connect whatever is connected. So they see that, for example, word glass is quite related to window, but not to some pan on oven. It's more connected to doors, because you have sometimes glass in doors, but it's not connected maybe to table, much less to table, or maybe
yeah,
a little bit to tabletop, glass tabletop that you put on a wooden table. So you have these kind of different relationships which are included in those models, and this is how model understand that if you speak in this way, in this context, with those words, probably are talking about this. So I try to understand, okay, you go in this way. Then if you don't like the reply from AI, you just ask, provide more details, like, okay, tell me about this, and then it pulls up these connections and gives you another reply, another kind of answer, or maybe picture. It
mm.
depends what you have.
I I find that really fascinating because years ago, like my background's marketing. So I've been working on search engine optimization since before Google. And so Google came along and it really made a lot of changes. So things like PageRank and so on were all new thanks to Google. But it really moved up the gears. Like, we were always doing search engine optimization based on keywords. That's all you would have ever heard about was keywords. But when they brought in a thing they call latent semantic indexing, which is basically what you've just described, all of a sudden they realized that if there was a page that talked about blood sugar and insulin, then probably the keyword was actually diabetes, because
Yes,
it knew the words that were linked. And that's basically, it's been around for 10 plus years, I guess, now, since Google introduced that in search. So all of this has been happening. I was asked the other day, when did it all start, this AI? And I was giving the answer that those of us who are involved, I was talking about Turing and essentially the Enigma machine and pattern matching and so on. So it's been quite a long road to get us here, really. So I guess there's a lot to unpack, and it seems like it's all just suddenly hitting us. But actually, it hasn't. It's been around, and probably more recently, people saying, Alexa, turn the music up. Well, who do they think they're talking to? Um, so okay, is it just like robots and chat bots and so on, or is there more to this AI?
you see, it's all kinds of activity that we do. Yes, I understand in our glass and glazing industry, a lot of people will say that, listen, AI cannot glaze because it's like physical work, and unless you have some robots that are controlled by AI, which can be quite future very soon, I think. Also, it can be possible, but currently, and this is also to fears that AI will replace us all. First of all, not even in offices. I believe in the combination into human plus AI combination, like tandem, working
Mm,
together. And yes, it's AI can be used in so many areas that you see, the whole goal of my project Glazing AI is about AI technologies for glass and glazing specific. I'm looking for any AI applications in our industry,
mm,
because ChatGPT, Midjourney, all this stuff you can find a lot in YouTube, whatever, a lot of this, but I'm focused specifically on this industry because I have been in this industry for 20 years as a glass technologies expert. I know how glass products are made, everything, like what comes to make glass products, cut, edge, polish, temper, print, whatever. And I'm interested to improve it, like to make
mm,
it more efficient with different AI technologies. And there are some of them. There are some of them which are valid also for, in general, for construction and building, not just glazing. But there are some that are specifically for glass and glazing.
mm. I think that's really important when you say about it helping us. And I'm in a position now where there's not many things I don't do without my AI assistant. But
Mhm.
actually, the relationship is one where it's just like having a virtual assistant that's working with me. It's like having a PA,
Mhm.
So the AI isn't replacing what I'm doing, but boy,
Mhm.
is it speeding up everything that I'm doing. That's the difference. So
Mhm.
I'm able to get more efficient. And again, these questions come around all the time, don't they? We don't, it's this fear thing, I don't like AI because it's going to take away all of our jobs and so on. Well, I'm old enough to remember when, emails were going to do this, and all of these new technologies were all going to do it. And I gave a sort of presentation a while back, and I was posing the question of, you would never run your business anymore without a phone. And
Yes,
yet
yes.
there was a point in time when you would, and without a website or all this stuff, email, you just wouldn't even think about it. And actually, we're just in one of those phases right now where it is new, and some people are really embracing it. Others are actually fearful of it. But ultimately, when the dust settles, none of us would think about life without it. I think is where it's going to go. And especially when we look, not just like what I was describing there is obviously just AI. So that's me live in the moment chatting with my LLM. So for those who are new, large language models. So that's your Chat GPTs, Claude, Gemini, all these sort of names that you might start hearing more and more of. But that's me in the moment doing it. Of course, a lot of the other stuff I'll get involved in, and I think there's a blurred line, is with automations. And automations, obviously, where we can automate certain steps that also use AI as part of that automation. So if people are talking to yourself, how would you describe that difference between AI and automation? Because I do think it's quite a blurred line for people who are not involved in the sector.
I think that AI is just it enables just much higher level of automation, because you can do just much more. It's like, you have just a small cart, and then you put an engine on that cart, and you can drive much faster. So what AI can do, you can automate your machinery much faster. You can do a much more different predictive models, how it should work, what it should do. For example, you have different machines, like I see it in my industry. You have different machines that are in one line. So you for example, you cut glass, you polish glass, you make cutouts, then you need to temper. And to make this streamline fast, you need to predict, like, because this line can be clogged, because some glass needs more processing, some glass needs less processing. So AI model can predict, like, okay, each supplier of machine can provide you some automation tools. Oh, our line is automated, our piece of equipment is automated. But then to have it moving fast, it's also, you need to have quite good brains with good connections there to make it automated, because it's really, you can see that in glass industry, for example, just an example. There is how the line can be clogged. There is a line that makes polishing of glass, and that makes cutouts of glass. And some glasses need just polishing on edges. Some needs just cutouts, or maybe both. So one of producers of equipment made special system that just lifts a piece of glass that doesn't need cutouts and moves over another piece of glass that sits here in processing and cutouts. So this system can be clogged up with some glasses that are not in good sequence. AI can help with this. AI can understand, okay, we can do like this. And this is why you can see a lot of sorting and storage systems in glass industry today. When you cut glass and it comes into different slots and is waiting for right time to enter next step, to enter drilling milling, to polish and maybe tempering. So AI can help in this, and also in many different other applications for glass.
I love how you've given that example, because again, when you first start hearing about it, it's the generalist stuff. There's not many people who have sort of really sort of buttoned down on one particular sector. And I think basically the way we've come to it is we're passionate about a sector, and then we understand the AI, but it's the sector that drove it first, as it were. So a lot of the stuff that you hear, it's all very generic. So therefore, I would suggest 80% of the conversations around AI are probably about marketing, because it just happens that's a sector that are really, I suppose they're already attuned with it. It's technology, it's that sort of thing. And straight away, we're giving examples of how it could work in glass production. And it's absolutely right. I was talking again the other day about how we can use, everybody's talking about Mid-Journey or DALI, so image generation. And we've all seen those images where, the person, because AI is so young, You know, we've seen the
Mhm.
pictures where the person's right arm is sort of sticking in midair 2 feet away. We've all
Yeah.
seen that, and that's what we think AI images are all about. But actually, when we've got tools that can detect people on site that are not wearing proper PPE,
Yeah.
that's really what AI image manipulation, whatever you want to call it, is about.
Mhm.
You know, in terms of real life application, that's not to say you can't create images for your presentations. You know, I'm not saying it's not that, but it's way more than that. You know, and I think that's the exciting thing for our sector and construction at large is there's a lot more to it than just your marketing department. So that's what I find really exciting. And I think in the next chat, maybe we should have a look at that. What does it mean specifically for the glazing industry? We've probably chatted for enough for people to sort of tune in for us on this one. If you've enjoyed the conversation Val and I have been having, then please check back. We've got some more conversations to share with you. Our intention in this is just to spark those thoughts for you in using AI. There's some huge opportunities for us, and we just want to inspire you to get on board and just start introducing more and more AI into your workflow. So, Elton from Thinkivity, Val from Glazing AI, thanks for watching.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.